The sound of a police siren, short and aggressive, sliced through the quiet suburban street. A teenager's voice, trembling but firm, whispered, "Sir, I told you. I'm just waiting for my ride. Please stop touching my bag." The sharp, metallic clack of a set of handcuffs being tested followed. Then the officer's voice, dripping with casual dominance. "You're going to learn about respect, kid, and you're coming with me." Suddenly, the officer's personal cell phone began vibrating violently, displaying a massive official state seal. The voice on the line was ice cold and utterly authoritative. "This is the Attorney General's Chief of Security. Release my daughter immediately. Officer, you have just committed illegal detention against a minor." The setting was a quiet, affluent neighborhood sidewalk just outside a popular high school during the afternoon pickup rush. Maya Davies, a black teenager and honor student, was waiting patiently for her father, who was running slightly late due to an unexpected session at the state capitol. She was neatly dressed and carrying a high-end school bag. A patrol car, driven by Officer Keith Reynolds, idled nearby. Reynolds was known in the precinct for his overly aggressive policing of minor infractions and a deep suspicion of black youth in the wealthy neighborhoods. The confrontational opening was immediate. Reynolds pulled the patrol car over and stepped out, walking straight toward Maya. "Hey, you look suspicious just standing there. What are you doing? Where are you supposed to be? I need to see some ID now. If you're loitering, I'm taking you in." The injustice was blatant. Maya was a victim silently hurt by the hostile assumption of criminality simply because of her presence and complexion in a wealthy area. The ominous hint of future reversal, faint but powerful, was a small, almost invisible gold pin on Maya's backpack, the official state seal pin given to her by her father. Fresh, unique opening style, focus on perceived minor offense, loitering, escalating into serious harassment. Officer Reynolds was loud, aggressive, and clearly looking for trouble. "I don't have a state-issued ID yet, sir. I only have my student ID," Maya replied, holding out her school card politely. Reynolds snatched the school ID. "Student ID? That means nothing. You're evasive. And why is your bag so heavy? Looks like you're moving product. Open it up, kid. Now." The aggressive demand to search her property without cause was a clear act of discrimination, laced with the assumption of drug possession or theft. Maya suffered emotionally. The public humiliation, done in front of other students and parents driving by, was deeply distressing. She knew her father's rules about interacting with police, and the immense frustration of having her constitutional rights violated was agonizing. "Officer Reynolds," Maya said, trying to remember her training, "I did not consent to a search. I am waiting for my father, and I am not loitering. If you wish to question me, you need to call my father Mr. Davies." Reynolds laughed, tossing her student ID onto the hood of the car. "Mr. Davies? Listen, kid, I don't care who your daddy is. You're hiding something. You're going to learn what happens when you resist a lawful search." He grabbed her wrist roughly and spun her around, preparing to pat her down. Silent strength added even as Reynolds grabbed her. Maya maintained her composure. With her free hand, she deliberately reached for the small, secured emergency pendant clipped to the inside of her jacket collar. It was a direct contact, encrypted panic button issued by the State Executive Protection Detail. This small, nonverbal act of dignity, a silent professional assertion that she had a network outside of this local precinct, was her quiet promise that she would endure the abuse but would use her authority to enforce institutional consequence. The tension surged as Officer Reynolds, ignoring Maya's clear distress, began to pat down. "You're resisting. That's another charge, kid." A low-status relative intervened. A crossing guard, an older woman named Ms. Elena, shouted from down the street, "Officer, that's Maya Davies. She's the AG's daughter. Leave her alone." Reynolds glared at the crossing guard. "Stay out of this, or I'll write you a fine for obstructing police work." Ms. Elena, fearing the loss of her job and income, retreated in silence, silencing the low-status intervention. Reynolds was triumphant. He snapped the cuffs onto Maya's small wrists, pulling them tight. "You're under arrest for loitering and resisting a lawful stop." He opened the rear door of the patrol car. However, a high-status character was watching. Chief of Security, CS, David Knox for the State Attorney General's office had received a discreet location ping from Maya's panic pendant. He immediately accessed the precinct's tactical satellite feed, showing the location. Chief of Security Knox started paying attention. The click of the patrol car door locking was a final injustice. Maya, cuffed in the back seat, felt the intense, violating frustration of being detained for no reason other than the color of her skin. The false charges were secondary to the knowledge that this officer was openly abusing his power. Reynolds returned to the driver's seat, energized by his supposed victory. He picked up his police radio. Dispatch! Transporting one female perp, loitering and resisting. Name is Maya Davies. Claims her father is someone important. Maya leaned forward. Her voice clear despite the cuffs. Officer Reynolds, you have one last chance to release me. You are currently committing misconduct in office and illegal detention of a minor. That is a felony that will be handled by the State Attorney General's office. Reynolds smirked, twisting the words into a joke for his dispatch report. Threatening me with the state AG now? You're a riot, kid. Let's see how funny you are at the precinct. He put the car in drive, ready to pull away. The story now hangs at the moment of peak crisis, with the innocent teenager illegally detained, and the car about to move, guaranteeing the end of the officer's career. Just before the shocking reveal, we want to take a quick moment to thank you for your support, love, and kindness. We wouldn't have come this far without you. Subscribing is one of the best ways you can help us. It's quick, free, and allows us to continue to bring you great content. Your support means everything. Let's keep this channel growing collectively. Where are you watching from? Drop your city and country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. Reynolds put the car in drive, and the patrol car began to move. Maya acted instantly. She reached inside her jacket, using her cuffed hands to press and hold the small, secured emergency pendant, the one reserved for the highest level of threat. Maya spoke 3 final, urgent words into the pendant's embedded microphone. Threat level 3. Obstruction. The code, threat level 3. Obstruction was the ultimate distress signal for the State Attorney General's protective detail, signaling not just danger, but a direct attempt to impede a high-ranking official's family. The message triggered an instant, surgical strike of political and legal action. The immediate effect on Officer Keith Reynolds was overwhelming. Before Reynolds could accelerate, his police radio exploded with a priority signal, overriding all local frequencies. The voice was that of Chief of Security David Knox, calm, precise, and saturated with political authority. Unit 4, Sierra 8. Stop your vehicle immediately. This is the AG Security Chief. You have an encrypted feed of this incident. You are detaining Maya Davies, daughter of the State Attorney General. You are now under investigation for felony obstruction of justice and illegal detention of a minor. Officer Reynolds slammed on the brakes, the sudden stop leaving rubber on the road. His face went pale with an instant, visceral terror. He stared at the radio, unable to comprehend how a teenager's daddy had just shut down his patrol car. At that exact moment, a black, unmarked SUV from the State Executive Protection Detail, driven by Chief Knox, boxed the patrol car in. Chief Knox and a uniformed state trooper stepped out, their expressions grim and focused. The truth revealed was absolute. Reynolds realized he hadn't just harassed a loitering student. He had illegally detained a child of the highest legal and political power in the state. The underestimated person was revealed as the daughter of a political titan who possessed the authority to fire him, strip his pension, and prosecute him. The wrongdoers went silent, realizing their fate was now subject to the state's top prosecutor. Chief Knox walked straight to the patrol car's back door, his movements radiating total command. He did not look at Reynolds. "Maya, are you harmed? Your father is waiting for you," Chief Knox said, unlocking the cuffs with a practiced motion. Maya stepped out of the patrol car, rubbing her wrists, her composure returning instantly. She looked directly at Officer Reynolds, who was stumbling out of his driver's seat, desperate to apologize. "Officer Reynolds, your arrogance and prejudice have just cost you your freedom and your career," Maya stated, echoing her father's familiar courtroom tone. "You did not violate a policy. You violated the law. And since my father is barred from prosecuting cases involving family, he will ensure the U.S. Attorney's Office handles your felony charges." The delivery of instant karma was relentless. The transfer of the case to the federal level was a crushing, sophisticated move. Reynolds understood this meant no local protection, no departmental cover-up, and guaranteed federal charges for civil rights violation and obstruction. Chief Knox placed a hand on Reynolds' shoulder, not in comfort, but in finality. Officer Reynolds, your precinct captain is en route. You are relieved of duty, effective now. Your weapon and badge are seized on grounds of aggravated misconduct. Attempting to frame the Attorney General's daughter for loitering is the last thing you'll ever do with this badge. Reynolds stood publicly disgraced, stripped of his authority on a busy sidewalk by federal-level security for a crime he had committed purely out of racial prejudice. Maya watched the state trooper quietly, formally seize Reynolds' gun and badge. She did not feel triumph, only relief and a renewed sense of responsibility. Her father, State Attorney General Marcus Davies, pulled up seconds later in his official vehicle. He ignored the scene of the disgraced officer entirely. He walked directly to his daughter, pulling her into a tight embrace. This crucial family connection moment showed that despite his high office, her well-being was his only priority. "Are you okay, sweetheart? I'm so sorry I was late." Maya's dignity was fully restored by her father's swift, powerful action. The fact that the entire state legal apparatus mobilized immediately proved she was protected and valued far beyond the officer's small world of bias. She quickly briefed her father on the loitering accusation and the attempted search. The Attorney General simply nodded, his face hardening as he looked at the cuffed officer. Life instantly improved for Maya. She was safe, vindicated, and moments away from being taken home. Maya was ushered into the Attorney General's vehicle. Her emotional closure came from the finality of the legal consequence. She knew Officer Reynolds' career was over, not because of her status, but because he had broken the law he swore to uphold. Deep reflection, Maya realized that the badge represents a public trust, not personal power. Officer Reynolds abused that trust by confusing suspicion with prejudice. Authority is useless and dangerous when disconnected from justice, and no individual is above the law, no matter what uniform they wear. The swift intervention demonstrated that true authority lies in upholding the Constitution, not in petty harassment. The calm ending was the sight of the Attorney General's motorcade accelerating smoothly away from the curb. The only person left behind was the now disarmed officer, staring at the ground, waiting for his commanding officer and the inevitable end of his professional life.